Here for about 40 minutes tops tonight, talking in the program of Creatives in Recovery. This is week 1 of 52. I plan to go 52 weeks in a row, so you can catch the replays on Substack. My ancestors knocked something off the desk here. The ghosts in my house are very busy today. We're going to be here for 52 weeks in a row. That's my plan. Creatives in Recovery is the name of the program. And by being here, welcome, Sway. You're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable. You're going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your days. By being in the room, you are signing up for our programs. And Creatives in Recovery is one of our flagship programs that we're doing for the next year or so. And week 1's topic is all about recovering from survival mode. If you are able to read, and not everybody's able to read, child, but if you are able to read, at the top of the room there is a question that's going to guide tonight's conversation. Are you really unmotivated? Or are you still recovering from what you survived? Are you really unmotivated? Some people will reach out to me in my coaching practice and in my spiritual counseling services and in my creative services, and they'll say, Dr. Flo, I just don't feel like it, man. I don't feel like singing. I don't feel like connecting with people. I don't feel like reaching out to people. I don't feel like auditioning. I don't feel like painting. I don't feel like learning anything new. I don't want to learn how to do reels. I don't want to learn how to build broadcast channels. I don't want to learn how to go live on TikTok and keep an audience engaged for over an hour. I don't want to do it, Dr. Flo. I'm so unmotivated. I just don't wanna. Are you really unmotivated, or are you in recovery from what you survived? And tonight is for those of us who are recovering from things that happened to us in our lives. You may not be lazy. You may not be unmotivated. You may not be all these awful things that people called you or that you call yourself. You may be recovering still from what you survived. And we're going to talk about it tonight for a short time, not a long time. I'm trying to be done by 8 p.m. Eastern so that you can have a fun time with me and not get overwhelmed. Dr. Flo does these 3-hour rooms, girl. I don't got time for that. We're going to try to keep it under an hour tonight. I'm going to try not to rush my notes, and I want you to still get the message of hope that's here in this space. And so welcome to Creatives in Recovery. If you're out there and you're an artist, performer, entrepreneur, writer, musician, content creator, visionary, speaker, healer, or if you're just a big dreamer, tonight's conversation is for you. Tonight we're talking about something that many people never, ever discuss. Recovering from survival mode. And our pinned question up top, once again, is simple but powerful. Are you really unmotivated, or are you still recovering from what you survived? Now, I want you to answer honestly in the chat, and I see Americans going. Yes, all of the work that I do here, American, is all about nervous system restoration and regulation. Yes. A lot of people, millions of people in the United States and around the world have dysregulated nervous systems. Yes, dysregulated nervous systems. And all of the things that I do on TikTok, actually TikTok itself will try to dysregulate your nervous system. They tried to scare me 6 times today on TikTok. I've already been terrified 6 times today on TikTok. These rooms in Love and Action Network, little hearts down below, we focus on getting free from people pleasing, emotional recovery, nervous system regulation. That's my specialty. I coach and counsel that every day. Medication can be the answer. Depends on how freaked out you are about life. How deep are you in depression, anxiety, panic, and paranoia? If you're deep, deep, deep in anxiety, depression, panic, and paranoia, maybe you should consider the medication. I've been medicated many times in my life, and there's no shame in being medicated. Everyone's brain chemistry is different. Good evening, Ben. It's good to see you. Welcome back into the network. It's good to see you. You're loved and lovable as always. Tapping is clapping. Tara's saying, all right, I'm scrolling, see if I forgot anything. Yeah, but if you have overwhelming depression, anxiety, panic, and paranoia, Go and talk to someone with letters behind their names. They may be able to prescribe you something. And what they prescribe you, you may not need to be on it for your entire life, right? You may be needing to be on it for a season. I was on psychotropic medications and things to help me heal for a season of time, and now I'm not. Of course, that's not an excuse for those of you who are on them to go off of them. You have to gauge for yourself personally, how deep in the panic, paranoia, anxiety, and depression am I? And do I need help for this so that I can have a high quality of life? Happy, healthy, free. If you're not experiencing happiness, healthiness, and freedom today, you may want to go talk to someone or call a recovery line or something like that as you recover from survival mode. Now, type in the chat, out of these three, surviving, recovering, or thriving, which one best describes you right now? Surviving, recovering, or thriving? Which one best describes you right now? Surviving, recovery. Okay, VS Virtu is recovering. E is all three, surviving, recovering, and thriving. We have recovering and See You're American. All three depending on the day sway. Great, great, great. Aria, the vocalist, is surviving and recovery. Nikki Bloom, recovery. Great, great, great. Bin Bin says, wow, we have 17 in the chat now. That's great. We're growing. Yes, yes, yes. And Mr. McGill says, going downhill. So that's surviving. Javante says surviving. Tara says thriving. Great, great, great. All right, heart. Great, great, great. Going downhill. Still surviving, though. We survive 100% of every day, even if it's just by the skin of our you-know-whats. Barely surviving. Yep. Barely surviving, still surviving. I say this all the time in my rooms on TikTok when I teach. You've survived 100% of every day that you have lived through, and I know that you're going to survive all of the rest of them. So let's talk now about what is survival mode. Many people think that survival mode only happens after major trauma. That's not true. Survival mode can come from financial stress, toxic workplaces, difficult relationships, caregiving, chronic uncertainty, rejection, artistic disappointment, burnout, housing instability, discrimination, constant pressure, years of feeling unsupported. I'm gonna read that list one more time and drop a 1 in the chat if you're experiencing any of these things tonight. Financial stress, toxic workplaces, difficult relationships, caregiving, chronic uncertainty, rejection, artistic disappointment, burnout, housing instability, discrimination, constant pressure, and years of feeling disappointed or unsupported. Okay? So we got a little 1s in the chat. This is very, very normal. So just know that you're not alone. One of the things that your brain will try to tell you, or your dysregulated nervous system will try to tell you, is that you're alone in your feelings. Look up and down the chat. These people sitting beside you tonight on TikTok are experiencing all of the above or some of these things. You're not alone in feeling that you're in survival mode. And eventually your body stops focusing on thriving. It focuses on getting through the day. The nervous system shifts from creation to protection, from imagination to defense, from expansion to survival. And here's the problem. Many creatives judge themselves for what survival mode did to them. Many people judge themselves for what survival mode did to them. All right. Let's talk about it. What has exhausted you the most over the last 2 years? What has exhausted you the most over the last 2 years? Thank you, Tara. And for those of you joining, you're in Creatives in Recovery. Verse Virtue says no support. America says pandemic. Yes, yes, yes. Brook It Up says it's a loneliness epidemic, an intimacy recession in America. Yeah, KKK. Toxic people and loneliness. Yeah, every 11 minutes in this country, someone crosses the Rainbow Bridge through their own hands because of the loneliness epidemic. 1 in 6 adults don't say that they have real friends. That's why Love in Action Network exists, because 1 in 6 adults do not feel like they have true people in their lives that love and support them. That is very real. Brook It Up. E says, carrying the weight of other people's emotions has exhausted you over the last 2 years. I understand that. Loss of loved ones. Yes, not feeling safe around men. The man or the bear, right? The man or the bear. Which would you pick, the man or the bear? I often wonder, man or the bear? Does it change if it's the gay or the bear? A gay or the bear? Does that change for anyone in the room? Happy Pride, everybody. How you doing? No community is another thing that has exhausted American. Stress, Jimmy Jams. Oh, Aria, the loss of my mother 7 months ago. Bless your heart. Food and gas prices for sure. Yeah, 170 million Americans with 0 to 2 friends. Yeah, that's what we help heal here in the network. I'll be your friend. I'll be your friend. The bill's increasing. Anastasia says, wow, that's sad. Yes, Sway. Oh, what do you do, Sway? Good Lord. I've never in my life seen somebody put it that way. What do you do? It's not funny. What do you do in that? Dear Lord. Dear Lord. Oh my gosh. Stay away from me, Sway. Stay away from me. Sometimes y'all don't even let the body get cold. Stay away from me, Sway. Don't even come over here. Y'all don't even let the body get cold. Y'all be standing over the warm body being like, give me that. Give me that, give me that, give me that. I am. In a little bit, Brooke. We always have a space eventually in our programs for opening the boxes. I am. Yes, Sway, keep that over there. I need you to at least try with me, okay? All right, let's move on. We don't have a lot of time tonight. Let's talk now about why creatives get stuck after crisis. Why do you get stuck after the crises that you've shared in the chat? Most people expect themselves to bounce back from crisis immediately. Life doesn't work that way. A person can leave the crisis and still carry the impact of the crisis. You may be physically safe now, but emotionally exhausted, mentally overwhelmed, spiritually discouraged, creatively disconnected. You survived, but your system has not fully realized that the danger is over. That's why some people say, I know what I want, I just can't seem to do it. The problem isn't always laziness. The problem isn't always discipline. Sometimes recovery is required before momentum can return. I'll say that one more time. Sometimes recovery is required before your momentum can return. Yes or no question. Let me know in the chat. Yes or no. Have you ever called yourself lazy when you were actually exhausted? The Body Keeps a Score. Come on, Paula. Have you read that book? Phenomenal read. The Body Keeps a Score. Have you ever called yourself lazy when you were actually exhausted? Yes or no? Angie, nope. Aria, yes. Virtu, yes. Tootsie, welcome. Welcome, everybody. We got some new people in the building. I'm Dr. Flo. I'll lead a global organization called Love in Action Network. We move towards our dreams daily by putting our love in action, and our TikTok program is part of that love flow. Cleopatra says it took me 7 to 8 months to heal last time I was pushed into survival mode. Yes, it does take time, beloved. It does take time. Thank you for the follow. I've read a bunch, Jimmy. I'm an avid reader. I love reading. All right. Have you ever called yourself lazy when you were actually exhausted? Lots of yeses, some no's. You know, that calling yourself lazy thing has a lot to do with your internal dialogue. Put a 1 in the chat if you hear yourself talking to yourself in your head. I was surprised to find out that there's some people on the planet who do not hear their own voices in their head telling them what to do or talking to them. Tootsie does, Anastasia does, E does. There are people, Malik does. There are people who do not hear themselves talking to them in their head. I don't know what they hear. I'm not sure if it's the Temptations or the Commodores or Barbra Streisand. I don't know what they hear in there. But there are people, Sway. One day we'll talk soon, Sway, about telling your feelings how to feel and telling your mind what to think. People don't think that they have control over telling their feelings how to feel and telling their minds what to think. That's a whole different class I teach. But yes, sometimes you do have to tell yourself to, like, shut up. Enough already. Anastasia's feeling it. Anasia. Larice. Yes, you have power of telling yourself how to feel. You have power of telling yourself how to feel, and you have power over your mind to retrain your brain on what to think that's healthy for you. For sure, for sure. Yes, yes. You see a lot of that on the trains in New York City, the people who are arguing with themselves out loud. You do see that in public, yes. All right. So let's talk now about the hidden cost of survival mode, and keep those chats coming. We've got ushers and friends in the chat that are maintaining the chat, and they'll let me know what's exciting. And let's talk now about the hidden cost of survival mode. So survival mode, as you all know, and as I know, it steals things. Survival mode steals things, not because you are weak, not because you're weak, because you're human. Let's talk about some of the things that survival mode can steal. It can steal your concentration. It can steal your confidence. It can steal your creativity. It can steal your risk-taking, your trust, your optimism, your consistency, your energy. Those are the things that survival mode can steal from you. And most artists and people stop creating or assume that they've lost their talent, especially people who are getting older like me. You know, you start hitting the late 30s, 40s, 50s. Anybody in the room? All of a sudden, you start thinking that you've lost your talent, right? And you stop creating because of your survival mode stealing from you all of those things. For me, it's risk-taking, right? Or my optimism, or my energy, or my concentration. I've gotten more ADHD in my life, or people will call it ADHD, even though what it really is that your concentration's gone because you're in survival mode. Now, that's not the question up top for tonight, but do you have ADHD, girl? Or is your concentration blown to smithereens because you're in constant survival mode all the time? Thanks for the follow. Don't forget to follow love. Don't forget to follow love. Following Dr. Flo is one thing. Don't forget to follow love. Love is the answer. Love is the source. And love is here. Your talent isn't gone. It's buried under stress. The stressed brain struggles to imagine. The stressed brain struggles to perform. The stressed spirit struggles to dream. Okay? You think your man's in the chat, girl? He might be. I would recommend Ben if he's in the room, but Ben says he don't like being tied down. I would recommend Ben, but Ben said, let me put in this chat. Ben, that could be your next, if you decide to ever settle down and not be a Rolling Stone. I would recommend Ben, but Ben said he don't like being tied down like that. So love might be in the chat. I found my man online, Sway. I found my man online on a Friday night. App called Clubhouse. Tag him and bag him. Tag him and bag him. All right. Complete this sentence in the chat. Okay? Complete this sentence in the chat. I'm going to copy paste it. If my ushers could pin this for me, that would be amazing. Thank you to my team over at Love and Action Network. The question is, before survival mode, I used to before survival mode, what y'all used to do before survival mode? Drop it in the chat. And thank you to the newbies for coming. I'm Dr. Flo. I'm an online coach and mentor. I help people chase their dreams. I help people live out their dreams. I'm a dream architect. We build dreams in the network every day and help people get closer to what they want out of their lives, happy, healthy, and free. I help people every day find great sex, great food, great adventures, and great rest that comes from great income. So if you're looking out there like Sway for great sex, great food, great rest, and great income, I'm your guy. Cam Essential says, before survival mode, I used to laugh more and be more creative. Malik the coach says, before survival mode, I used to go on more bike rides. Anasia says, before survival mode, I used to enjoy getting out of the house and doing random stuff. Ooh, yeah, I understand that. Richard says, I'm not still recovering low key. I used to, I'm not still recovering low key. I'm so used to the crutch. You have a leg that has a interesting situation. Okay, well, you're still moving, right? You're still moving. I could send you videos of people that ain't got no legs at all, and they do all sorts of things. Those people in the Special Olympics and stuff, they swim faster than me. Oh, it's a metaphor. My bad. Okay. Pa Ria says, I'm still unmotivated to do my trauma and relationship. Tell me more about that, Pa Ria. I'm still unmotivated to do my... Once again, Pa Ria, as it relates to trauma and relationship, are you unmotivated? Are you still recovering from what you survived? You may not be unmotivated. You may still be recovering. You may be still healing. It takes time to heal. And Tootsie really has a cane. Okay, so... Tootsie's, that's not a metaphor for Tootsie. Tootsie's like, I need the help. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Any other people want to answer the prompt before survival mode? I used to. Truck says, before survival mode, I was an extrovert. Now I have agoraphobia. We have people in the community that come daily here to work through their agoraphobia. We do have people here on Love and Action Network and people around the globe who work through their agoraphobia here. That is noted, yes. Coming out of that closed heart posture and that closed heart sutra of agoraphobia and opening your heart posture and opening your heart sutra and opening yourself up to leaving the house and being vulnerable in the world, that is a specific kind of assignment. I went into a deep agoraphobia space, Carla, as well. When Miss Rona came to town, C19, anybody? It made me get very scared of my neighbors and the world, and I'm still recovering from the effects of C19 as well. I'm still, branching out. I haven't fully, before C19, I was working on Broadway. I was living in New York City. I was out there. And then C19 happened and I started to get shy and introverted, right? Yeah. And what's interesting about it is that we're not supposed to go back to where we were before C19. We're not supposed to go back to the lives we had before C19. Life is calling us to make and do something new. Okay? So, yes. What do I suggest about what? Lots of masks came off, Sway. Lots of masks. What do I suggest that you do about what? Thank you, Tara, whoever that is. Paria, thank you so much. I'm gonna be here for 52 weeks. That's my commitment. 52 weeks on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. This is Creatives in Recovery. On Sundays, I do church hurt and healing for those who are recovering from religious experiences and wanting to find a deeper route into their personal spirituality and personal theology. And then on Tuesdays, I do People Pleasers Anonymous Live for those of us who are recovering from people pleasing. Not spent all of your money on Lysol, masks, Clorox, and DoorDash. Y'all remember, couldn't find a roll of toilet paper anywhere. Couldn't find a roll of toilet paper anywhere. All right? Wipe it with your hand. Did someone answer the question, Tara, about what was, I don't, what do you suggest I do? There were some people who gave not toilet paper at the hardware store. Agoraphobia? My suggestion, and this is a non-clinical suggestion, my suggestion is to find safe people in the world. Find safe people, and then recognize that that kind of person exists in all spaces. You know? You're going to have to make some agreements with life that life is trying to happen for you, not happen to you. So one of the mantras that I would write down, Carla, is life is happening for me, not to me. A lot of people with agoraphobia think that something out there in life is going to happen to them, right? If I go out there, something bad could happen to me. Something against my preference could happen to me. What if instead of people out there or things out there or situations out there happening to you, they happened for you? See what I did there? Those people out there and those experiences out there are coming to help you. They're coming for you. They're coming for your benefit. You know, the people in Walmart are not coming, those situations, those causes and conditions, they're not happening to me. They're not happening to me. They're happening for me. All of life is a movement towards your wholeness. All of your life is trying to make you a strong person so that you can have everything you want. And the only way to make an omelet is by cracking an egg. The only way to make an omelet is by cracking an egg. The only way out, I coach my clients every day and week. I tell my clients, the only way out is through. The only way out is through. You may try to jump over it or get under it or wiggle around it, but sometimes you got to walk through it. And this includes people with agoraphobia. Okay? You should come, Melty, Smiley Face, you should come to Toxic Shame Be Damned. It's a program I run on TikTok and privately as well. Toxic shame doesn't work on me anymore. Toxic shame doesn't work on me anymore. I set myself free from toxic shame. It has no power over my life. Love is not control. Love is not control. Everybody, love is not control. Love is not control. A person who's telling you that you should be ashamed is a person that's trying to manipulate and control you. Down with all manipulators and controllers. Love is not control. We've been saying it all week here. If you came to the lives earlier in the day or earlier in the week, love is not control. Everybody, love is not control. Everybody, love is not control. Love is not control. Love is not control. So a person that comes in, they're trying to tell you, you should be ashamed of yourself. Oh, why do you want to control me? Why are you a manipulator? Who taught you to be a manipulator? Love is not control, Allison, Carla, American. Love is not control. Love is not control. Okay? There are people who would try to control you and people who would try to manipulate you, and and make you feel like you don't belong or like there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your days. Right? People who know they're loved and lovable never have a reason to be ashamed. People who know they're loved and lovable shall never be ashamed. Happy Pride. Happy Pride. And Pride is for everybody. I hope everybody in the room has something that they are proud of themselves about, even in survival mode. Find something that you can be proud of yourself about. This goes also back to the person that was asking, I think it was Carla, about agoraphobia. If you are proud of yourself and truly find yourself to be loved and lovable, you're going to want to share your goodness with everybody. I hugged the Walmart greeter today. Now, I have a little touch of agoraphobia as well, but I hugged Alicia, the Walmart door greeter, today because I hadn't seen her in months. She's a local Dungeons and Dragons dungeon master. And I said, how are you, but when you got love to give, it will spill out of you as long as you are connected to your loved and lovable nature. All right, let's talk now about the lie of productivity culture. Our culture worships output. Produce more, work harder, hustle faster, keep grinding. But nobody asks, what has this person been carrying? Some people are trying to build a business while grieving. Some are creating while depressed. Some are performing while anxious. Some are caring for everyone else while neglecting themselves. The world sees low productivity, but what if the truth is recovery? What if your nervous system has been fighting battles that nobody sees? Here's a question for you all to answer in the chat now. What's one thing you survived that people rarely acknowledge? What's one thing that you've survived that people rarely acknowledge? Thank you to my ushers. Thank you to my team. Ooh. You know what? Someone told me this week, Carla, about this thing called GANG stalking. GANG stalking. I had never heard of that. It was scary. Me too, Matt. Me too, Matt. Me too. Me too, Allison. Me too. Me too, Miss Thunder. Ooh, Raven. Raven. Wake it up, Raven. My neglectful childhood and surviving hypersexualism. Wake that up. Whoa. Ooh. Woo. Raven, were you sitting in my therapy session? Whoa. My neglectful childhood and surviving hypersexualism. Girl, were you in my therapy? Ben said I survived my battle with demons. Yes. Okay, so I know you weren't standing outside my therapy sessions. I know we just met today. An incurable diagnosis. Wow. Welcome, Raven. Yeah, Raven was sitting outside my therapy session talking about neglectful parents and early hypersexualism. Whoa. Ah! Yes, Pariah. Aria says, being a single mother for 15 years and no family support. Yes. Shout out to all the single mothers. Miss Thunder, abuse and toxic relationships. Ben is counting the chairs. Thank y'all so much for sharing. And thank you so much for sharing with each other. We talked about this earlier in the space, that there are people who feel alone in life, And by you typing in the chat and being bold and courageous, you're giving other people permission to open up, and you're allowing them to see that they're not alone. I cannot even express that enough. By us being here and chatting with each other with vulnerability and holding space in the ways we are sharing ourselves with other people in a way that liberates them and gives them permission to be seen. Don't ever discredit your story. You telling your story and you lifting your heart and your truth allows other people to be seen. Matt says, I'm recovering. I just had a major loss. May you be comforted. May you be comforted by everything that brings you comfort. I don't know where you get your comfort from, but may you be comforted. Calm Color says, survived emotionally absent, mentally abusive parents who act like they did. Yeah. I had mentally abusive and physically abusive religious parents. We deal with this on Sunday nights primarily, but my parents were religiously, spiritually, physically, and emotionally abusive, and they acted like that was what everybody was doing. And it wasn't until I grew up and left home that I realized that everybody did not grow up in a religious home, and everybody wasn't emotionally, spiritually, and physically abused because of their religion, if you can believe that. It's kind of wild. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Why are you harming me in Jesus' name? Paula, mommy and daddy issues, SA, the CPS system, a narcissistic relationship, and single motherhood. Woo, Paula. And you're still standing. Thank you for sharing. You're still standing, Paula. You are an example of survival. You are the fittest. You are the fittest, Paula. You, not to discredit what anybody else said, but like you're one of the fittest in here. That's some stuff. That's some stuff. Thank y'all so much for sharing. Listen, there are people on TikTok, millions of people on TikTok who are trapped in, y'all, listen, it's Thursday, y'all, in Love and Action Network. It's Throat Chakra Thursday. We take a chakra a day. Sunday's the root chakra, and then we move up to the crown chakra on Saturday. I'm on TikTok every day talking about this type of stuff. It is Throat Chakra and Thumb Chakra Thursday. Paula, you know how many people are trapped in their throat chakra and their thumb chakra, unable to speak out loud the things you shared in here tonight? You typed mommy and daddy issues, SA, the CPS system, a narcissistic relationship, and a single motherhood. You're not hiding behind your trauma and pain. You're taking dominion over the things you went through, and you're not afraid to let it up and out. That's a superpower, ma'am. That's why I say you're the fittest. That's why I say you're the fittest. Ben, I also had a dad issue. He was emotionally abusive. Thank you, Matt Balance. Emotionally abusive. Yeah, my dad wanted to make a man out of me. But there are a million different ways to be a man, and a million different ways to be a woman, and a million different ways to be a non-binary person, and a trans person, or whoever you are in the world. And these parents who try to make us yeah. Oh, wow. Maria, I see you. Thank you, Paria. Oh my God. Laughing my ass off. I end being extremely vocal about my trauma, not necessarily on Thursday, but whenever I'm... Oh, okay. Yeah, a cry. Life with Breathe. That's a cry for help. That's a cry for help. I know what it's like to try to bury my trauma under Jesus Juice as well. I hope it ends well for you. That can be really rough. I've been there. My dad was just a hurt boy who never grew up, looked for a mom in mine, and took his. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, wow. Yep, deep resonance with that. My dad always seemed not to want anything to do with me. Yeah, lots of. I want to introduce you all tonight before we move forward because I don't want this to run over because if it runs over, people won't come back. People won't come back if I promise to be under an hour, and then if I promise to be under an hour, and then I run over, people get mad about that. So, what I will say, Ben, and everyone else who shared wounds tonight as it relates to parents, there is an open door. Love is an open door. And there is an open door for you in this process called reparenting. Put a 1 in the chat if you know anything about reparenting. Reparenting. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever heard of reparenting. I see you, Train to GA and Maria and Raven Starlight. There's a calm corner. There's a moment in our lives where we get the opportunity to reparent ourselves or to allow safe and loving community to give us back the things that our parents took from us. Now, I don't have any children traditionally because I'm a gay. And yes, there are gays that have children. Don't even start in the chat. But I don't have children out of my womb, as it were. But I have tons of friends and tons of clients and tons of students who are my children. And I am reparenting them daily towards this idea that they are loved and lovable. That was one of the things that I wish my parents had said to me when I was a kid. Not that Jesus was the answer or that God loves me or any of these things. I wish they had told me that I was loved and lovable and that I could start today trusting myself. And so Papa Flo, Dr. Flo, Papa Flo, I'm telling all of you today that you are deeply and profoundly loved and lovable, and it's never too late to start trusting yourself. You are loved and lovable, pariah. And it's never too late to start trusting yourself. When I say you're loved and lovable, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the fact that you are loved, pariah, and everyone in the room is loved. And not only are you loved by someone that you know or someone that you don't know, most of us, it's people that we know. Not only are you loved by those people, or you may be loved by Dr. Flo in this space for this short time, but you also are lovable, meaning that you have the ability to be loved. You can create conditions in your life where love has the ability to penetrate you. There's a dirty joke in there somewhere. There's a dirty joke in there somewhere. That's what she said. Love can penetrate you. Not optimistic, Shataba, Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam. You say I'm very optimistic. I'm speaking what I've lived. I am loved by people. I'm loved. Y'all tap it in the chat and 17,000 likes. So I'm loved by TikTok and Real Talk. But I would not be able to feel the full weight and measure of that love if I didn't know that I was lovable, if I didn't allow the love to get in. A lot of people want love, but they don't allow the love to come in. You have to allow the love to come in. Yes, Cam, that's also what she said. You have to allow love to penetrate you. People who knock off love. I'll give you a classic example. And this is running over, and I apologize. I won't try, Tara, I'm going to try not to go longer than like 5 to 7 minutes over. We did start a little late so we can let people arrive. So I'll go like 5 or 7 minutes longer, but I don't want this to be too long. Someone tells you that they like your dress, or they like your glasses, or they like your pants, or they like your voice, or they like anything about you, fill in the blank. And you go, oh, this shirt, I got it on sale. Oh, like, I'm not pretty. There's so many prettier people. Oh, you're so smart. Oh, I didn't even finish college. Right? We often deflect the love that's coming to us. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever deflected love. You know, and I don't have time tonight, but I teach in my practice and I teach on TikTok all about this thing called the propaganda of unworthiness. We cannot talk about, I do not have time tonight. I got to restart this live and do dishes because the dishes are waiting for me. So if y'all want to come after this session and do dishes with me, which I do on TikTok as well. When I'm not coaching on TikTok, I'm doing dishes on TikTok or eating breakfast on TikTok. Feel free to stop by after this session and do dishes with me on TikTok. It's so boring, but I'll be here. But we got to talk soon about the propaganda of unworthiness. It's in the media. It's in our families. It's in our schools. It's the trolls and bullies on TikTok. It's a propaganda of unworthiness. There's forces and people in this society that want to make you feel that you are unworthy of the good that I know you deserve. The propaganda of unworthiness. They're trying to convince you that you're not lovable and worthy of having love find you in all of its forms. Raven, I will be right here. I'll end the live. And then I will, maybe I won't end the live. I have a setup. I could just take y'all over there when we're done. I'll end the recording and then I'll take you all over to the dishes. Life is one big dish. Life is just one big dish session. All right, let's go into the last piece here. Recovery is not laziness, okay? Recovery, those of us who are healing from the wounds that we've shared tonight, those of us who are healing from our traumas from our parents, those of us who are healing from ex-lovers and moments in our lives that made us feel unsafe. I cried too, Pariah. We have to recover. We have to recover. We have to recover the love and the joy and the peace that was taken from us or that we gave away, taking full responsibility. And recovery is not laziness. Recovery is work. Healing is work. Restoration is work. Learning to trust again is work. Creating again is work. Being visible again is work. Trying again is work. I'm gonna read that list one more time because a lot of people, especially in the spiritual spaces or the coaching spaces, like I'm a spiritual counselor, I am a teacher and mentor, I'm a tutor. You'll go online to like YouTube and places like that, and you'll hear all of these talking heads and these life coaches. So I know y'all don't like life coaches, but y'all will hear all these life coaches like me saying, "Oh, you just need to heal. Just heal. Like life is asking you to heal." Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever heard a life coach or a spiritual person say, "Oh, you just need to heal." Like just flowery, you need to heal. Let me tell you something. Recovery is work. Healing is work. Restoration is work. Learning to trust yourself again is work. Okay? Creating again is work. Being visible again is work. Trying again. Picking yourself and dusting yourself off and doing the thing that you say you want to do again, that is work. And recovery does not always look productive. Sometimes recovery looks like sleeping. Who was in here telling me earlier that they were crying? Could someone find that in the chat? There was another crier like me. I used to cry on the train in New York. I cry on my... Somebody roll up and find that comment about the crier like me. Oh, yeah, Pariah. I'm a crier too. Recovery looks like sleeping, crying. Recovery is crying. Okay? Recovery is asking for help, setting boundaries, taking one tiny step, rebuilding confidence. Recovery is saying no. Recovery is creating imperfectly. Those things matter and those things count. Last question of the night. Thank y'all so much for being here. Last question I'll put in the chat. What is one way, Matt, Raven, Eat, Pray, Love? What is one way you know that your body or spirit is asking for recovery right now? What is one way you know your body or spirit is asking for recovery right now? Delia, welcome from Illinois, 60652. Panic attacks, sleep. Welcome to everybody. I'm Dr. Flo. I'm a dream architect and spiritual counselor and mentor. I'm here on TikTok throughout the day, breathing in the suffering of the world and breathing back onto you love and peace. In our Western society, most people are trying to breathe in the good and exhale the bad. On TikTok, I take in the suffering and I breathe back into Illinois and all over the world words of peace. It's a gift I've got. Because you're feeling frustrated, trained to GA, you know that your body and spirit's asking for recovery. The tired and feeling so much, returning to truth. Yes. Solitude, Bin Bin. Bin Bin wants to be left alone. Legacy Timepiece Co. says, I always think I'm unmotivated. Are you unmotivated? This is right above. Are you unmotivated, Legacy? Or are you still in recovery from what you survived? That's the question of tonight as we land this. Are you really unmotivated? Or are you still recovering from what you survived from? The body keeps a score. She's a beast in the kitchen says, I felt the energy today. Couldn't deal with the NPCs. Child. Jesus. The NPCs, they look at me crazy. Anyway, my nails are painted. I got this colorful thing on my head. I'm wearing purple. I got the rainbow belt on. I'm dancing through the Walmart. The NPCs, they go. And then I'll turn around and they'll look like they're not looking at me. It's so funny. I was in Walmart today. I can't stand going to Walmart because people gawk at me. I got this aura and this light and this big energy, and every time I turn around, someone's like, and then they look away real quick. The NPCs. It's so funny. Akeisha says, I start asking a lot of internal questions and receiving answers from everywhere. I gotta find that comment wherever it is. Ben, they listen, fascinated. I try not to think that people are jealous of me. I think they're fascinated. I think they're wondering, like, what's making that guy be happy, healthy, and free, and how can I tap into it? What's another way that you know your body or spirit is asking for recovery right now? I start asking a lot of internal questions and receiving answers from everywhere when I quiet my mind. Yes. Akeisha, are you still in the space? I could not recommend more. Not Crashing Out, Raven, with all caps. I could not recommend more this app. It's a free app called Insight Timer. Do you know about Insight Timer, Akeisha? Insight Timer. They've got meditations on it, and they've got this mixer there where you can put birds and rivers and frequency stuff on. Jay knows about it. How do you release witchcraft? I don't even have enough time for that, y'all. I'm already over, and people get mad at me when I run over. How do you release witchcraft? You want the short answer is by praying higher prayers. Witchcraft or energetic magic operates at frequencies. So when you said to me witchcraft, my mind immediately goes, Pariah, to frequency magic. Witchcraft to me, and everyone has a different answer, but witchcraft is frequency magic. And witchcraft, the craft of the witches, you can craft ideas and thoughts and magic in a low vibration. All right, if you go to my website, you'll see an emotional guidance scale. Okay? If you go to my website, you'll find an emotional guidance scale. Some people are crafting ideas that are in a low vibration that are taking them further down in their emotions. All right, or they're casting spells on you by the power of their thoughts and their words to take you down a negative, down spiral, negative vibration. How do you? Someone find that comment again. This is not the one that I was working on. Could someone find that comment again? How do you release witchcraft? Thank you. And we can come back to whatever that was. I have ADHD. I can only the way that you release the craft of a low vibration, Pariah, is by releasing higher vibrational thoughts into the atmosphere. If someone casts witchcraft upon you to say you're going to have a bad day and your life's going to fall apart, you release a spell out of your mouth that says, I am loved and lovable. I release everything that does not serve me. Write that down. I release everything that does not serve me. If someone's working witchcraft on you, or you're working witchcraft on yourself, because working witchcraft on yourself is actually more common than people working witchcraft against you. Write down on a note and put it on every place in your house that you can. I release everything that doesn't serve me. If someone's casting witchcraft on you and it doesn't serve you, you release it. I release everything that does not serve me. People, places, events. If you got people around you that you feel are putting witchcraft on you, get rid of them. None, Jay. I wish a motherfucker would cast a spell on me with all this loved and lovable energy. And people have tried. People have tried. When you're focused on the positive, they lose their power. It's kind of like if people have a magic wand and they're trying to cast a spell on you, but the wand doesn't work. You know? And somebody in the chat could probably tell you about a return to sender spell, which is already the law of the universe anyway. But there are things called return to sender spells, where you can return it back to sender. But that's the law of the universe anyway. You don't need a return to sender spell, because everything that we give out in the world comes back to us multiplied. So a person who's trying to do witchcraft of lower vibration against you, they already live in hell. People who call witch workers or root workers to do dark magic on other people, they already live in hell. They're already panicked and paranoid. They got bigger fish to fry than you. Come on, Jay. Let them know, Jay. People who are trying to put witchcraft on you are preoccupied. They're listen, they're already 3 months behind on their bills. Don't get caught up in that vibration. They're already behind on their bills energetically. They're trying to pay it off. It's not, yeah. It can't stick to you. It can't stick to you, Train to GA. It can't stick to you. It can't stick to you. But people have tried. People have tried. People have also thought that I was casting spells on them. Like, I'll say things, there are laws in the universe and there are principles in the universe. I'll say things like, as above, so below. As above, so below. I'm in recovery as well, Akeisha. I'm in recovery as well. And I'm recovering from a religious cult as well. I used to be in a big, big religious cult. Yeah, I used to sing all over the world and on international television in my cult. What was I talking about? Oh, people who think that I'm hexing them when I say as above, so below. Recently, someone said to me, "Don't you hex me, Dr. Flo. Don't you hex me." I'm like, no. As above, as you think in your mind, so below in the living of your life. I'm not hexing you. I'm telling you that you're trapped in there, girl. You're trapped in there. Come on, goosebumps. I'll be here all year. So tonight I want to offer to you a new possibility. Maybe you're not broken. Maybe you're not lazy. Maybe you're not failing. Maybe you're recovering, and your recovery deserves compassion. The goal isn't becoming who you were before. The goal is becoming who you are after surviving. That version of you may be wiser, more grounded, more intentional, more authentic, more powerful. Type one thing in the chat that you want to recover. Last question of the night. Come on, Jay. More stronger strength. What's one thing you want to recover tonight? This would be the moment in my past where we would open the doors of the church. What are you trying? What are you believing for? Singing or signing? My zest for life. Independence. You have a partner in the chat. Bossy Tash and Akeisha both want independence. Y'all should bring your magic together. My spiritual gifts. I would love to help you go deeper in your spiritual gifts. Love, healthy excitement, self-fucking-doubt. Raven, spit that out. You know, like toddlers, spit that out. Depression stole my zest for life. Spit that out. Here's a new piece of butterscotch from Grandma. I am reclaiming my zest for life. I am reclaiming my zest for life. My zest for life is returning to me. I see my zest for life walking towards me across the field. Spit that out. Don't be in here with those negative confessions. Depression stole my zest for life. Go get it back. He didn't run that far. Akeisha wants the healing abilities back. Sway started meds 2 days ago. Good for you. There's nothing wrong with meds. I would say pass me a couple under the table, but that's illegal. I hope you stay. You're a hoot. Tara saying to Jay. Calm Color says, I would love some help kindly. Oh yeah, I would love to help you retap into your spiritual gifts. They didn't go away. You stopped exercising them. You know, we are who we are. But life starts to get heavy and we start piling things on top of ourselves and putting things in front of our lights, you know, and that's how it gets a little squirrely. Jay says, I'm reclaiming my voice, my gifts, my loudness, my healing gift. Sway says, just to help me get back so I can take over. You better take over. She's a beast in the kitchen says, I want to go to sleep again and go back to the world I came from. Where'd you come from, girl? Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Where'd you come from? Don't go to sleep. There's a lot of people who are pretending to be asleep when they're awake, and there are a lot of people wanting to be asleep. I get that, but I promise you what you want is you need to keep your eyes open. You need to keep your eyes open for where you're going. Okay? And to everybody in the space that talked about what they're reclaiming, their confidence, their creativity, their joy, their trust, their energy, their hope, I stand in agreement with you. Earth is not a twilight zone. You better stop resisting reality. I don't have time to talk about this tonight because I'm over time and we got to go do dishes. But you better stop resisting. Resistance makes stronger. So if you think that you're in the twilight zone, the outer effects of your life are going to be the twilight zone. You better make peace with what you're living or you're going to suffer. My daughter said my voice, my throat chakra is one of my spiritual gifts that were blocked. Yeah. I used to be blocked in my throat chakra as well. It's Throat Chakra Thursday. I speak. Okay. Before our next meeting, I want you to do one thing. Not 10 things. I want you to do one thing. One creative action. One email. One song. One page. One video. One rehearsal. One sketch. One conversation. One step. One dance. Not to prove your worth. Not to prove your worth. Not to impress anyone, but to remind yourself that recovery and creativity can coexist. All right, you're going to be doing that one email, one song, one rehearsal, one conversation, one step. Sure. Be very careful, Jay, with that. I was up to 12 and it nearly wrecked my life. So be very careful with that, Jay. If that's your story, that's your story. But be very careful with that. I was up to 12 and it nearly ruined my life. I wasn't moving as fast towards my dreams as I wanted to because I was in the couch. I was not moving as fast towards my dreams as I wanted to because I was in the couch, Jay. And that made me depressed. So be easy. I mean, do what you want to do, but mind the gap. Right. And that can make you... Are those nice? Are those nice? I've heard about that. Are those nice? Are those nice? I've heard about that. I did. I was on Broadway. I worked on and off Broadway for 10 years. Yeah, she's a beast. Yeah. Now that's the Twilight Zone. I don't know if Earth is the Twilight Zone, but New York definitely is the Twilight Zone. Okay. Remind yourself that recovery and creativity can coexist. And remember tonight's question. Are you really unmotivated or are you still recovering from what you survived? Because the answer to that question may change how you see yourself forever. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for continuing to show up. You are loved, you are lovable, and you do not have to build alone. You don't have to build alone. Thank you for being here. I'm Dr. Flo. You're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're always going to be loved and lovable. See you soon.